About 2 years ago, I started doing every single thing I possibly could to learn as much as I possibly could. I started listening to all these different entrepreneurs and weightlifters, bodybuilders, and philosophers, and pretty much anyone who would help me in my self-improvement journey. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 6 people who have helped me develop the most. The first person that I've listened to for a long time, I've read both of his books, and I've listened to almost every single podcast he has ever released, Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson was a professor at the University of Toronto, and before that, a professor at Harvard. He is an incredibly intellectual person. He has many takes, and his books, 12 Rules for Life and Beyond Order, have been some of the most impactful books I've read in my entire life. And just some of the rules he has in these books, and stuff that might even seem very, very obscure and maybe not very helpful, stuff like cleaning your room, it really has a significant impact. And a lot of the stuff he talks about, even when it comes to stuff maybe like religion and stuff along the lines of this, he is an incredibly intelligent person, and the way he conveys ideas, which is kind of the second reason I listen to him, is so incredibly professional, and you can tell exactly what he's saying by how he talks. This kind of brings me to my second point with Jordan Peterson, is that listening to Jordan Peterson, in my opinion at least, can help you develop your vocabulary and your understanding of different topics. It is incredibly important not only to have an extensive vocabulary and be able to clearly convey exactly what your mind is thinking in words, because doing this is not only going to help you in business and social interactions, but it can help in a bunch of different areas of your life. Pretty much anything that has to do with communicating to people, maybe in the future giving a speech or something along the lines of this. When you can communicate effectively and have an extensive vocabulary, you are not only much more respected and well treated because you are seen as an intellectual, but people also can understand exactly what you are saying. And by doing this, you also are not tripping over your words, and you can clearly convey your exact point. The second person that has been super impactful in my life, who is slightly more arcane than Jordan Peterson, is Naval Ravikant. Naval Ravikant is an entrepreneur who founded a company called AngelList. This company is an angel investing company where it invests in different businesses, and they've invested in stuff from Notion to I think even Instacart and some of these businesses that have taken off. But this is not the reason I enjoy Naval Ravikant so much and why I find him so truly impactful. It's because he so clearly understands exactly how to not only be super successful in business and make a significant amount of money, but also how to actually live a good life. He talks about a lot of stuff like meditation and exercise and how that exactly can be applied in your life. But not only this, it goes much further than this. He, first of all, is incredibly intelligent, and he has a deep understanding of different philosophies and exactly what people think, and he has a very unbiased view of the world. It's very interesting to listen to him talk because you can just understand exactly what you should strive for when it comes to actually how you yourself should act and how you should live your own life. He has some great advice, like understanding that maybe once you get to the top of your profession or get to the top of where you're at, that means that doesn't mean you're just perfect, you're stuck there for the rest of your life. You should climb back down that mountain and start somewhere new and try something else. He says specialization is for insects. You should just be good at everything. And I think some of this holds true. I don't completely agree, but I definitely agree with a lot of what he says. And just in general, Naval Ravikant is a very good person to listen to. And yeah, the next person is Marcus Aurelius. Now, Marcus Aurelius died probably about 2,000 years ago, but all of his lessons and everything he talked about still hold very true, and they're very timeless information and very timeless lessons. For example, stuff like holding your beliefs and holding your opinion to the absolute highest of importance, rather than caring about what other people think. For example, he said, a quote from him is, "We all love ourselves more than other people, but we care more about the opinions of others than our own." It's like, for example, like this, it's super timeless. Like, it applied 2,000 years ago, but it's also applying now. He wrote a book called Meditations, which was never actually meant to be published. It was just notes to himself. And in this book, there's thousands of good lessons that are from him, which is a Stoic, who believed in Stoicism. And almost every single lesson in that book is timeless and it can be applied today. I've read the book a couple times and truly a fantastic book. It's probably been the most impactful book on my life. I've made a separate video on some of the lessons in that book, but Marcus Aurelius is a super fantastic person to go to when it comes to actually learning. The next person is Alex Hormozi. He's really gained some fame in the past couple of years, but he is super intelligent when it comes to business and how to create a business, how to find funding for a business, marketing, sales, how to create a business, and also just a bunch of lifestyle stuff. He is very easy to listen to because of some of his more short form content as well, but his podcasts, his YouTube videos, they all convey super good information without blabbing for, an hour about every single little thing, and rather just tells you exactly what you need to do and the most important things. So Alex Hormozi is super easy to listen to, and you can learn a lot from Alex Hormozi when it comes to business. The next person that I listen to a lot is Andrew Huberman. Andrew Huberman is not necessarily on more of the side of business and stuff like this. Rather, he's more focused on health. He does talk about a lot of stuff about hormone levels and how to actually, do stuff like increase testosterone with stuff like cold tubs, getting more sun, and stuff like this. And he has some great lessons with stuff, even like optimizing sleep, and even some more arcane stuff like salt intake. And a lot of this stuff you don't even realize how impactful, like for example, sunlight is on your life, but it really is. And when you kind of listen to him and start to understand exactly all these different topics, you start to understand, okay, wow, that's actually incredible. Deliberate cold exposure is actually super good for you. Oh wow, I didn't realize how important salt is. And a bunch of different stuff like this. So Andrew Huberman is another really good person that I would recommend you listen to. He is super intelligent. He is a professor at Stanford and a really good guy to listen to when it comes to stuff like health. And then the last guy is Jeff Nippard. He's more of a bodybuilder. So he is really good to go to when it comes to lifting advice. He seems to very well understand a lot of these topics. And not only that, but he is very, in a sense, I guess you could say, unbiased when it comes to a lot of this stuff. He's not trying to sell you anything. And the videos are based on science, and it's very good information to digest. And just in general, Jeff Nippard definitely is a great person to go to when you want to try to find stuff about lifting advice. How to actually build muscle, like effectively, how to lose body fat percentage, and a lot of this other stuff. So yeah, all of these people on the list I would recommend you listen to. Each of them kind of has their own separate niche, and in general, try to listen to all these people because it is very good to have a very well-rounded, I guess you could say, not necessarily personality, but knowledge. For example, Jordan Peterson teaches significantly different things than Jeff Nippard, but you should try to listen to all these people because they each teach different lessons that are super impactful. But as always, strive for greatness.